Hello friends, let us now learn some important points about ischemic heart disease. Okay, first, in the ischemic heart disease, one important disease which we are going to learn is angina. So angina is divided into three types. We have three main types of angina. Okay, first we have a stable angina, unstable angina, and then we have a variant angina, or we can also call it as a Prinzmetal angina, or we can also call it as a vasospastic angina. Okay, variant angina, Prinzmetal angina, and vasospastic angina. This stable angina occurs whenever there is a present uncomplicated plaque is present, then this result in a stable angina. This stable angina is seen, that is, here the pain is seen only when the patient exerts, that is, on walking stairs or on doing some physical exercise, he has pain on exertion. Then in unstable angina occurs whenever there is the presence of complicated plaque in the patient. So this is actually an acute condition, and it occurs even when and here the pain occurs even at lower degrees of exertion, or it can even occur at rest. Okay, it can occur even with less exertion. Actually, instead of lower degrees of exertion, we can say it can occur at less exertion or at rest. Then if you see this variant angina or Prinzmetal angina here, or vasospastic angina, this vasospasticity is present in coronary arteries. It occurs mainly due to, here you will see pain at rest. Even when the patient is completely at rest, you will see the pain, but you will have to treat it with either vasodilators you can give. So once you give vasodilators, you will have excellent response seen in this vasospastic or Prinzmetal angina. So this is about the angina. So we will even learn about the MI also. So when a person comes with chest pain, comes to you, either with exertion or with anything, okay, chest pain associated with diaphoresis, that is excessive sweating, or it is that is increased sweating, or it is chest pain if it is associated with radiation to either arm, or from there radiation to jaw. In such cases, you will have to do ECG. Every time with chest pain, it is better to do ECG to rule out any possibilities. Okay, in ECG you will see presence of either two things. One, you will see presence of ST segment. Okay, I'll write it here. Okay, you will see either ST segment elevated MI, or you will see either non-ST segment elevated MI. If there is ST segment elevated MI, that means the problem, the infarction which you are seeing here is transmural infarction. That means if this is the heart, okay, here the infarction is involving all the layers of the heart, that is transmural infarction. This will result in ST segment MI. If the infarction is present only in the subendocardial region, or if ischemia is present only in subendocardial region, then you will see non-ST segment MI, which is nothing but you are actually seeing ST depression. So if this is the heart, here the here there is only infarction present only in the you will see infarction only in the endocardial region, just below the endocardium. Okay, so this is the two important things about ST segment and non-ST segment elevated MI. Right, one important thing in MI, which you have to definitely remember is cardiac enzymes and gross changes. First we will see cardiac enzymes and then we will see the gross changes. Okay, if you see the cardiac enzymes, okay, in the cardiac enzymes you will have first enzyme which is found to be elevated in MI is myoglobin, is the first enzyme which is found to be elevated. There is also troponin is found to be elevated, which is either troponin T or troponin I. But if you were asked what is most important, then obviously troponin I is most important than troponin T. Okay, then this troponin, this is actually the marker of infarction. This troponin is the marker of infarction. Okay, then if you were asked, then one more enzyme after troponin, there is creatinine kinase MB type of enzyme is present, and we have AST is elevated and even LDH1 is elevated. This is actually called the flipping ratio of LDH. This is flipping ratio of LDH. That is, here LDH1 is elevated more than LDH2. Actually, in our body, if you, what is this flipping ratio of LDH? In our blood, the most common LDH present in blood is LDH2. Okay, and most common LDH present in heart we have LDH1. Okay, so whenever there is MI, this LDH1 present in the heart is released outside. So in the blood you will see presence of more LDH1 more than LDH2, because the LDH1 present in the heart is released outside into the blood. So these are important points about the cardiac enzymes. Now after cardiac enzymes, now we will have to learn some points about the gross features. These gross features are mainly the features which you see on autopsy. We are not going to do any cardiac biopsy or anything, any of such thing is not done. These are just the things which you see on autopsy. Okay, in this you will have gross features, light microscopic features, and we also have electron microscopic features. These are actually very important, asked many times in exams. So first, if you see in 0 to 30 minutes, you will here there is this occurs due to ischemia, decreased oxygen, and this is actually a reversible type of condition. Okay, reversible type of condition, which is 0 to 40 minutes is the reversible condition. So in 0 to 30 minutes, if you see, you are not going to see any gross changes, you will not see any light microscopic changes, but electron microscopic changes, here you are going to see just one thing, which is mitochondrial swelling. You will see swelling of mitochondria is the only thing which you see. So mitochondria becomes swollen here. Okay, that is one thing which you see. That is from 0 to 30 minutes. Then after that, from 30 minutes to 4 hours. So from here we have irreversible changes. All these changes which you are going to see from here are irreversible. Grossly you are not going to see any changes, and if you are going to see in the light microscopy, you will see waviness of cardiac fibers is seen. Here you are seeing just waviness of cardiac fibers are seen in light microscopy, and you will also see myocytolysis, that is killing or degradation of myocyte cells is also seen. So here you are going to see just fibers like this, just the waviness of fibers are seen, and you are even going to see the myocytolysis, but a mild degree, not a lot. Okay, so as a result, here you will have the normal nuclei will be there only in some cells. See, these cells I am not putting nuclei because in these cells the nuclei is lost. In some cells, in those cells where the nuclei is not there, that means those are undergone degraded, that is there is they have been dead. So myocytolysis. Then if you see in electron microscopy, you will see amorphous densities are seen in mitochondria. You are going to see amorphous densities. Where are you going to see these? In mitochondria. So here in irreversible stage, if this is the mitochondria, okay, so now I am going to see amorphous densities here. What are these amorphous densities actually made up of? They are made up of actually calcium. Okay, next, that is from 30 minutes to 4 hours. 30 minutes to 4 hours. Now we will see the next from 4 hours to 12 hours. In 4 hours to 12 hours, in gross finding, you will see occasional mottling. You will see occasional dark mottling. Actually, this is the first change which you see here. This is the first change which you are going to see in this gross microscopy, right? In grossly, this is the first change grossly. Now, if you see light microscopy, here you will start seeing coagulative necrosis is seen. Okay, here you will see coagulative necrosis. So if you see, that is 4 to 12 hours, sorry, 4 to 12 hours you will see coagulative necrosis. Then you will see from 12 to 24 hours. There is no picture which I can show you here. Okay, then the next is from 12 hours to 24 hours. 12 hours to 24 hours, this dark mottling which is present, it will increase, and even the coagulation necrosis will increase. Along with that, you will see along with this coagulative necrosis, you will see presence of contraction bands are seen. You will see presence of contraction band necrosis is seen, and you will also see presence of hypereosinophilia, that is increased eosinophil structure is seen. Okay, and you will also see inflammation also here, because obviously if you are going to see the that is in inflammation, you are going to see neutrophils. If you are going to see the light microscopic features, you won't do any electron microscopy, so not important. This is from 12 to 24 hours. Now we will see the changes from 1 to 3 days. From 1 to 3 days, you will have in the dark mottling which I have told you. In the center of the dark mottling, you are going to see yellowish structure. So this is the yellowish center which you see in the dark mottling. So what are you going to see here? Here in gross structure, you are going to see yellow center. Okay. Then here you are going to see many neutrophils. So I am going to draw this picture, because this picture you will understand a lot. So here already there has been started, coagulative necrosis has been started. There is contraction band necrosis and coagulation necrosis is seen. So these are the all necrosed myocyte fibrils. If you see in these myofibrils, I am not going to draw any nuclei, okay, because these all are the myocyte fibrils, but these have been necrosed, okay, and you are going to see many neutrophils. So all these are the neutrophils or macrophages which you see here. So the not macrophages, I'm sorry, macrophages did not come yet. These are the neutrophils which you see. So this is how you see the picture from 1 to 3 days. So if you see, if I label it, here you are seeing the necrosis, right? Here you are seeing what are these? These are the neutrophils are seen, right? Neutrophils are seen. Now this is from 1 to 3 days. Now we will see from next from after 3 to 7 days. Okay, now here we will again see gross findings and we will see light microscopic findings. So now we will see from 3 to 7 days. So if you see from 3 to 7 days, you will see yellowish center with hyperemic border. It's difficult to draw hyperemic border, so I am not showing it here. Okay, yellowish center with hyperemic border is seen. Whereas in light microscopy, from 3 to 7 days, you will see presence of macrophages. Now I will draw this picture also. So if you see here, you will see the coagulative necrosis will now start to decrease. Okay, there is less coagulative necrosis in this area, but you will see presence of lots of macrophages are seen along with the neutrophils. You will also see the, obviously you will see the neutrophils. So this is the picture which you see here, because the macrophages will start engulfing the coagulative necrosed material. So now the coagulative necrosis will slowly start to decrease. So these are the macrophages which I am showing. Okay, now the next is from, this is the last picture, last one, which is 7 to 10 days. So from 7 to 10 days, you don't need to know about the grossly. You will see granulation repair is seen in 7 to 10 days. Granulation tissue is seen in 7 to 10 days. In granulation tissue, what you actually see is, so now most of the coagulative necrosis has been now broken down. You will see only a few coagulative necrosis there and here, and you will see lots of, obviously, macrophages will be seen here also. Along with all these, you will see one more thing. What? Blood vessels. In granulation tissue, the hallmark of granulation tissue is presence of blood vessels. Okay, and obviously you are going to see neutrophils here also. They will be there till complete healing occurs. You will be seeing neutrophils. So the hallmark of this granulation tissue is presence of blood vessels. So this occurs from 7 to 10 days. Then if you see after more than 2 months, there is formation of scar. So in the scar tissue, I will draw this scar tissue also. I am drawing this fibrous scar with blue. So in the scar tissue, you will see presence of formation of fibrous scar. This is the complete scar tissue which is formed. Okay, and this is the scar tissue which is formed. And in the middle, you will see some remaining muscle tissue. So all this is the remained muscle tissue, which is just scattered tissue which is present. Okay, so this is the complete dead tissue is now replaced by fibrosis or scar. What is fibrosis? It is nothing but the collagen fibers. Okay, so these are the events which you see in myocardial infarction pathological point of view. Thank you for watching.